give us a minute to have two more commissioners, and then we'll have our quorum and we'll get started. Thank you.
Even one more.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, Dada. Can you hear me clear? 1, 2, 3, Dada. Dada, 1, 2, 3, Dada. 1, 2, 3. Dada, 1, 2, 3. Still going, huh? Hello, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A, 1, 2. Dara, it's not doing. Look at it. Come on, A, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Dara. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait. Mariana, go and take a after so bring you. No by Mr. Man. Because this is too for it's going to stop.
start of our proceedings. Imam, you have the floor. If you can give us some prayers.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين وإن تستفتحوا فقد جاءكم الفتح نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل والله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر وسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you. Shukran, Imam C. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God of mercy, whose mercy reacheth honor to the heavens, and whose truth reacheth unto the clouds. We beg that you grant us, human beings, sinners of various degrees, that we be able to bask in your mercy, which gets into the heavens, and in your truth, which gets unto the cloud. Help us, Lord, that we may restrain our anger, our grief, and our vengeance. Help us, Lord, that we may understand that you are a God of justice and that you are a God of mercy. Help us to understand that it is your wish that we should reconcile with one another and be at peace with one another. And so as we continue the TRRC sitting, we pray, Lord, that you will guide this process, that you will guide the listeners, we will guide the population, the people of the Gambia, both in and abroad. You will guide each and every one, so that, Lord, that we will depend upon your own justice and upon your own mercy. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop. Council, are we ready to bring in the first witness of the day? If so, please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, commissioners, and members of the audience. We are ready to proceed. Sagar Jahate Thomas would lead, or Sagar Thomas Jahate would lead the witness. So, Mr. Osei, kindly bring in the witness. Over to you, Sagar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, commissioners, and good morning all. I am ready to proceed with my witness. Mr. Osei, kindly bring in the witness. Mr. Osei, the witness is speaking in Mandinka. Can you please swear him in Mandinka?
I'm Jai Mane. I Njai Mane.
Nte Njai Mane.
I Njai Mane.
Nte Njai Mane.
Do swear that
Mbenkali lako.
I'll speak the truth,
Mbetonya le fola.
the whole truth,
Mbetonya da male fola.
and nothing but the truth.
Alunte fem fola me manke tonyati.
So help me God.
To alama ale en makoi.
Mr. Usher, we cannot hear the witness. Can we please swear him in again?
Yeah, let him lift the microphone.
Let him draw the microphone closer to him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I Njai Mane.
Nte Njai Mane.
Do swear that
Mbenkali lako.
I'll speak the truth,
Mbetonya le fola.
the whole truth,
Tonya damang.
and nothing but the truth.
Alunte fem fola me manke tonyati.
So help me God.
To alama ale ndema.
Good morning, Mr. Mane.
Council ko isama Mr. Mane.
Mr. Mane, we cannot hear you. Please,
Ibedi
can
amula
you
san-
speak
Yeah,
loudly into
san-
the microphone? Good morning, Mr. Mane.
Council ko isama Mr. Mane. Aha. He said, good morning to you too.
And how are you doing this morning?
Akunyin somanda ibe nyadile.
Alhamdulillah, wala tento.
It's thanks to God the Almighty.
Okay, thank you for coming today, especially under the circumstances. We've had heavy rains. Thank you for making the effort to be here today.
Akoy numbara ya kata foinata ako kolu lanya sama baketa nyin soman nambari wo nyawnyanding iwakilta ya kata foinata inumbara kotake. He's saying thank you to you too.
We have already met, and as you know, my name is Sagar, and I will be questioning you today on behalf of the commissioners.
Ako alibentale nung koya lonko atetomu sagar leti bitunga atelebe nyinin kala komisona lutoya la bi.
Before we start,
Ako janimba da mutala.
can I just remind you to speak loudly? You are speaking very softly, and we cannot hear you.
Akabe hakilo bulani lako nyi mudiamo leti sidiamo santo biko katu molu bukela kumomoide adu molu nyantela kumomoilele woto nibe diamo la diamo santo fo molu si mo insefam.
Your voice must be audible to the entire hearing room. Everybody sitting, including those at the back, must hear you clearly.
Menu bebe nyimbungo kono nyantela diamo moilele katu abe safikanne andu abe kanna sori kanne adu menu bebe sirinjang inyante moilele wala na iko inyanta diamo la santo le moli ye mo yefam.
Please assume a very comfortable sitting position and draw the microphone closer to you.
Ako yesi si nyame ya lonko wole be dahandi la satara ete batala ka ngaji ka jimi microphone kang woto microphone saba ya katandi fangola satara ete jimi la kang yetu wuli la ka katala wati o wati micro saba ya katandi fangola. He said
Please
it's good.
sit back in your chair.
Ako yesi ila sirango kono yesembe ibe dahala nyami mente batandila. Iwo sinya batate fele. Yo, he said he's sitting comfortably.
Okay, please also allow a few questions please allow a few seconds before my questions, between my questions and your answers.
Ako isi secondanta bula nate dia moke wala nyininkaro ke indema na jabi side domandin rong puru e alla dia mo kana sele nyokan kana sor la fanalisa kana sor ab mobe sa faham. Ya moile.
That way we avoid overlap in our speeches.
Ako bajala wo ba sabula le molu suñu be fahamu alla kumul fanalite sella nyokan.
And also to allow for interpretation into the different local languages.
Alun ko nga fay nyamen kana sor la lu bijanne menu be nyin kumo kana sor kan ko tangolu ton na banko la kangolu to folu fanalisi la kumo kana sori anate la kumo.
In our previous meetings, I have already warned you about the duty to tell the truth.
Ako alabem folo luto ay idandala nyinale ka foyon ko jande ni sita jang inyanta yeto nyafo.
And I have already warned you that it is a criminal offense to lie to the commission.
Anda nyim fanan ko indi male ko luwa balanta nyinale luwa tinyalom pour ka fania fo commission nyati lingula jang.
We have very limited time today. We have about an hour to cover your testimonies, so I would also like to remind you to be very direct in the way you answer questions that are put to you.
Ako wato deteta bake katu kolu dukundita. Woto ning aye nyininka ni ba jabila mini ngo kana siaje aye nyininka men na wo jabi drong kumo ye sutiya.
The main focus of your testimony today will be your experience of the demonstrations at Birkamaba in the Lower Fuladu, CRR, Central River Division, as well as your personal victimization during the students' demonstrations there on the 11th day of April 2000.
Ala nyininkaro betilin na menna wala mukolu keta nyamin Birkamaba hanfo taliboli balamba ya men kije aning inate ite fangon nata mantoro men takikolu kono me yalon ko keta talibol law kolti nyin karotil tanning kilingo men keta April karotil tanning kilingo ti 2000 sango kono. Ya fahamu?
Ya fahamu.
Well understood.
Mr. Mane, I hope you understand completely everything that I have just said.
Akwa mira fo ay membe foten ko ngam fo yeten ya fahamu le kende ke bang.
Ya nya fahamu le kende ke. Nya fahamu le kende.
Yes, I understand everything.
Ya fahamu le kende.
Yes.
Very good. That was very loud and clear. Are you ready to proceed?
Ako silam fo pareta le bang tenteng abe nyinin ka ro damutala.
Ya mpareta.
I am quite ready.
Yes. What are your names?
Ako esisai ito kangani kontongo puru wairi abe safe kanne safe lalu sabe safe ay koy.
Nto mun Njai Mane red.
My name is Njai Mane.
What is your address?
Ibe siri mintole saing.
Mbe siri Kombo Velankara.
I'm resident at Kombo Velingara.
And are you currently working?
Ako fonyin tembeng ibe do kuala lebang?
No, mantra do kula.
No, I am not employed right now.
What is your date of birth and your current age?
Saying ite wuluta sanjumale andung ye sanjijelle soto katabula bila.
Ya wuluta April karo tilimuani na Lulu 1984.
I was born on the 25th of April 1984.
Saruja CRR.
At a village called Saruja in the Central River region.
And what is your current age?
Saying woto ye sanjijelle soto.
Sayendembe sanjitansa ba sanjulu.
I have 35 years now.
And do you have a copy of your ID card?
Ako, fuela ID card abebule le bang ibadameng.
Ya nyana na ID card filtambulu motolo kono nya kankula bare maje bare sanya dole fanandunde bare ko next week in sitakamo.
My former ID card got lost in a vehicle. I even announced it over the radio, but I cannot see it up to now. But I have already gone to the immigration to apply for another one. They told me to go for it next week.
Mr. Mane, can I just ask you not to turn away whilst you're answering the questions? You tend to turn away from the microphone. Please speak directly into the microphone so that we can hear you.
Ako ningi be jabiro kela ike dajen kendi microphone ye ako ba kela wala ka kendi la kumo dolu buka finti bake barbitu nibe diamula isia akata ye da tilini microphone la isaje la kumo si finti ay senea. Ya faham?
Nya faham.
Yes, well understood.
I will also ask you to produce your ID card to the commission at a later date so that we can make an application to tender it into evidence.
Ako aba fule nyatonto niela ID card soto drong inyanta na lale ka futandi nyin commission ma nyin pour nyin kamala inyanta dundi la kaytolu konole ani sede kaytolu men yalon ko obedendi ite fangola kollela.
Bismillah nyamola.
Yes, I understand very well.
We will need that as evidence of your age at the time of the demonstrations.
Mbe sula la wala nyine kama pour ka long wo demonstration olu be kala wato men isango be sanji jelle wotumo wole ba kendi la sula tawo ID card la pour sa safe nga ke sede kaytolu kono isaje salon.
Bismillah nyamola.
Yes, I understand.
Can you tell us where you attended primary and secondary schools?
Ako isa fono nye ye primary karango ke karambu njumale to anin secondary karango ya ke karambu njumal to.
primary school. Now follow Bundum Primary School. So not a transfer 1993 kata Birkamaba Primary School.
I started my primary education at the Bundung Primary School. Then I later transferred. Then I later transferred to the Brikamaba Primary School.
Can you give us those dates, please? The dates that you were at Bundung Primary School as well as Birkamaba.
Ako foisi alungulu fono nyele ya damuta sanjumale Bundung Primary Karambunguto aning inata saun kata Brikamaba Primary Karambunguto sanjumale.
Nya kumasi Bundung Primary School 1991.
I started at the Bundung Primary School in 1991.
Not a transfer to 1993 to Birkamaba Primary School.
Then in 1993, I transferred to the Brikamaba Primary School.
So not a Birkamaba Primary School complete 1997.
I completed the Brikamaba Primary School in 1997.
Then not a proceed Birkamaba Secondary School academic year 97 to 98 kata grade 7.
Then I went to Brikamaba Secondary School up to the year 1997.
Then not grade 9 complete year 2000.
Then I completed my grade 9 in the year 2000.
Then not grade 9 kata na Amiteji Senior Secondary choose barbutung na student dembo session Kenya nata futaje principal wa nyitandi nako ito ila address of futaje lon jay manete de school de place o de la in karambunto jang den be rivarang kaito de la yeta ya school sur dawdo yeta je so nata proceed kata na senior secondary school base.
Then I opted to go to Armitage Senior Secondary School, but when I went to Armitage Senior Secondary School, the principal there at that time told me that we cannot admit you in the school here because of you attended the students' demonstration. You cannot go. You cannot attend the school. Then that was the principal informed him that he will give him a referral paper to go. Then that was the time he gave me a referral paper. Then I went to the Ahmadiyya Senior Secondary School.
Then Beo Ahmadiyya Senior Secondary School inatam batandije bakes security personnel. So nata jebula kana pipeline comprehensive senior secondary school.
I was at the Nusrat Senior Secondary School, but every time the security people come to me, they are security personnel, they started harassing me at the school. Up to the time I can no longer go to that school, then I decided to transfer and come to the Pipeline Senior Secondary School.
Then Pipeline Senior Secondary School, that out not board of an I returned back to the Brikamaba school promoted senior secondary school.
Then I had to leave Pipeline Senior Secondary School to return to Brikamaba. At that time, Brikamaba was upgraded to a senior secondary school. Then I went to Brikamaba Senior Secondary School to complete my schooling there.
Then I suppose Nanta complete Brikamaba Senior Secondary School. Barabutung inata political dundije ntata for grade 12 pour fe mantuje sa im foka examination ta so inata na school terminate then examo nyanta kila watu mum fauna wa interselo kono Brusibi police station.
When I went to the Brikamaba Senior Secondary School to complete my education there, well, what happened, they decided to bring in politics into my education. That's the time the harassment continued. Then, in fact, I was later arrested and brought back to the Brusubi police station, and I was locked in the cell. In fact, the day that I should sit to the exam, that day found me in the cell at the Brikamaba police station, at the Brusubi police station.
Mr. Mane, sorry to interrupt you.
Mbatu, council be nyin kakang. Yes, go ahead, council.
Mr. Mane, sorry, I have to interrupt you at this stage and just take you back for a few clarifications before we continue.
abe murundila koma puruka dinkira danta senayandi.
You mentioned that you were denied entry into Armitage Senior Secondary School because of the demonstrations. What demonstrations are you referring to?
Ako iko Armitage la principal ko ite sonna yedung Armitage karambungo to ko katu tarta talibol law demonstration ko ako demonstration jumale moti.
Wolong Birkama ba la junior secondary school demonstration throughout all over the country.
That was the demonstration which took place in many parts of the country. That was the students' demonstration. That's what he mentioned to me. Because of that demonstration, this is why he said he will not admit me into the school.
What is the name of the principal at the school at the time?
Ako for principal o membe o karambungoto o tumo membalanta purwedu o karambungoto amite je. For ya tolon ne bang?
Ya nya atolon.
Yes, I know his name. Ato Fonyeng.
Kafaela Hafna.
Well, they called him Mr. Hafna.
Do you remember his first name?
Ako fo ato follow hakilo siyo mutale bang?
No nya alo nyina ko ka kuma da Mr. Hafna.
I forgot the first name, but I can only remember that people used to call him Mr. Hafna.
And was it Mr. Hafna who gave you this referral note to go to another school?
Ako fate Mr. Hafna fang kilingole yo kaito di la prieta karambundo to bang?
Te Hafna kabrain commandal office then water nya class ro bidundala ura njube akonyo itlo njay man Birkama bankai ha akonyo ko den there's no place for you in this school here Birkama akonyo ko, so you are part and parcel of that student demonstration at London hate then anata kewdolo kumandije bare nyamo la ka fa Mr. Mendy.
Well, when I went to Armitage School with my documents, he called me into his office. He was wearing glasses, but he took off his glasses, looked at me in my face. He told me, I've heard of you. You are Mr. Njaimane. We've heard that you took part in the students' demonstration, so we have no place for you in the school. But he called somebody else, called Mr. Mendy, who also came with another man into the office. So these people were present when he was telling me this in his office.
So Mr. Mendy Lenatan Sambanata Rivaran Kairo Dina any school in Sitano Jeneraje.
It was that Mr. Mendy who took me out of the office and went and wrote a referral paper for me. He told me, you can go to any other school who will accept you anywhere in the country, but this paper you can go along with it is a referral paper.
Do you know who this Mr. Mendy was?
Ako fo Mr. Mendy fo yalo ne jumalom bang.
So Mr. Mendy na man ke odun ti nene maje bari man jamfa alo man jamfa bake balo fanan kuliandinta fima.
Yes, Mr. Mendy, I have never seen him before that day, but he's a short man, black in complexion, and he is also somebody who has weight, and he's somebody really who I don't know.
Do you know if he had a position in the school at that moment?
Ako foya lo ne bang fo ay palaso le soto karambungu nyinto je wo tembo bang.
Yeah, after ndala moving nata morjinin kala kola inata fanya ko is part and parcel of senior teachers in Armitage Senior Secondary School.
After I left that place, later on I inquired about him, but what the information they gave me was that he is among the senior teachers who were teaching at the Armitage Senior Secondary School at that time.
Can you tell us how it felt to be denied the right to attend the school of your choice?
Ako wodung ite yo je nyaadile ayeke nyaadile ite fangola fita karambungu benna purita karanje yana balang purite ta karangola woto woketete nyaadile wotumo.
Anyway, I knew kuya back here.
It was
but nyajere ko to nyala mantra ko kono.
Well, I was very sad and I was very angry, but what I realized is that there is no truth in whatever they said about me.
Did you meet the pass mark of Armitage Senior Secondary School?
Ako brielo ndi kontiboke examination o nying. Mark menyante sambala o karamoto Armitage School foyo sotole numbang.
Yeah, because student demonstration of kela o kera sa munda April 10 and 11 year 2000 wasilo mapol makol pota bakele bari last results last mako ni ntenata jere so bari ntede mu bota nyola birkama ba do bije ntela wodol ya fede bari je sotla.
Okay, what happened that year? The examination marks that year were very poor because of the demonstrations. A lot of the students had very poor marks. But our results came last. But among those results, the mark I got was even higher than the mark of some students who were admitted into that school at that time. I had better marks than those people.
And do you have a copy of your grade 9 WAS examination results?
Ako ila grade 9 WAS londi kontibo kaito fabe bulle bang.
Yeah, maybe misplaced the sign.
I have misplaced them now.
Okay. Can you please supply them to the commission if you find them at any point so that we can tender them as part of the record?
Ako misali kama nyaton to nitata o kaito luje ebe lafila puri na ati commission nyinto puru isio fanambula sede kaito lukono meni alonko ibe dundila. Ya faham?
Ya faham le mbasot no nira school into mbasot no.
Yes, I understand. I can even go back to the school and try to get a copy of it from the school. I think if I go there, I'll be able to get a copy.
That would be very helpful if you could.
Ako obekela makoir baleti natara isi okeno.
You mentioned that you were given a referral letter. To which school was that?
Ako yanyi mfoko inata referral kaito dila wole mke samba karambundoto. Ay karambungule to foje tenya ntatala da membang.
No, amang karambunto sefe kaito yubala.
No school was written on the paper.
And which school did you eventually go to?
Ako biringo to biri bota otole inata ta karambunju maleto.
Kabrembota ate amitage wrong. De nata kombo jande. Kagambia high kaje Sajan Muslim High School kata Mindau Senior Secondary School bari will nada fonyor ko de la school blocked already fatal. So illegal.
When I came, I first went to the Gambia High School, now the Gambia Senior Secondary School, and Mindau plus some other secondary schools. But what they told me at all those schools was that at that time all the schools were blocked. They have students and they cannot add any more students to their student population in the schools.
So that for Stamo Banta.
That's how I was roaming around trying to get a school for myself, going around until the first term ended.
Then
Then that's the time when my father called me.
Akonyako nana ndima dole be na senior secondary school ko to malong.
He told me, I have another son at the Nazir Senior Secondary School. He's a brother to you.
Kafa Bambasane.
They called him Bambasane.
Then nara naten karaje unara fanyako itela in results bete abatala.
That's the time when I went to Nazir Senior Secondary School, but when Bamba checked my paper, he told me, you have very good results.
Can you tell us where Nasir Secondary School was located?
Ako tumo Nazir Secondary School abe mintole nungo tumo.
Nasir Senior Secondary School be Basele Mansajankunda.
That's the school located at Basse Mansajankunda.
So not a school kumasi totem.
That's how I enrolled in that school.
Mr. Mane, can you please repeat your question, please?
He said,
your answer.
He said, "Ako ila jabiro men ila banta jabiro men dila alafta say wole kang."
Similar.
Kafo ifama le kumando ana memfo ya nimmen nata bula onoma. Birifa ye kumanda mune foye.
Mfama ha wole mfama nata kumande kafa nyeko nana ko ma dolo bijang Nasir Senior Secondary School.
That's the time when my father called me and told me that I have another son at the Nazir Senior Secondary School. You can go there.
Nasir Senior Secondary School. So the maro ni address of follow out school or nyaje. So nya kaito indiala.
That's the time I went to the Naziri Senior Secondary School at Baseman Jankunda. The name he gave me, Bambamane, I tried to locate the man until I saw him. Then I gave him that paper. After he looked at the referral paper and my examination results, then he told me, you have good results, and that's the time I was enrolled in that school.
So another time you have very good mark.
He repeated the answer to me saying that you have very good marks.
Why not imana janjuna until kamul tajan munelonko itela resources more than them.
The man told him that why didn't you come here earlier? Because we accepted people here whose marks are far below your mark.
Mr. Mani, can you tell us how long you stayed at Nasir Senior Secondary School, please?
Afonye ye wati jeleke Nasir Senior Secondary Karambunguto.
Yeah, kabrin daraje second term le start term mufta mbotaje.
I went there and I attended the second term there, but just around the beginning of the third term, I had to leave there.
You already mentioned that you were harassed during your time at that school. Can you tell us the nature of the harassment and who harassed you?
Ako ayenyum foko karambungu nyintoje inate batandi jele han fo le ketaila jebulo daliloti. Jumanyo le batandi.
No, school to personally, mom problems or school to.
I had no problems at the school itself.
Munatambatandi security lenatambatandi.
It was the security personnel who really harassed me.
Wala kera na modoti aben bebe sate kidina faido birkamba an saruja be balala.
It is somebody whom I knew before because Brikamaba and Saruja are very close to each other. They are villages, but they are very close to each other. Is somebody called Malafisanyang.
At 2001 UDP political rally sort of Basse.
In 2001, UDP held a political rally in Basse.
So on the school I
was at the school, so I left the school going home. Then I went to attend the meeting.
So meeting ila ideally kamun fo banko mole so ka interest wala because principal na londo kono.
Well, I went to attend the meeting to listen to what was being said, so that if it is something good, I will take the idea and add it among the ideas that I will depend on later.
Then from a meeting janjanta watomuna.
When the meeting came to an end,
malafisanya nata afonyeko ikoitata UDP meeting blala.
That's the time when Malafisanyang came to me and told me that you have decided to go and attend a UDP meeting. He told me that in this country, if you want to survive, you have to come to the APRC. If you don't want to survive,
then there's no way for you.
Then there's no way for you. Me personally, Malafi told him that he himself didn't see him, but somebody saw him there who took the information to Malafi. At that time, the answer I gave him was that whether you are in UDP or APRC, well, that's not my business. I'm just somebody. I'm not part of the UDP and I'm not part of the APRC, but I'm a student who is trying to gather knowledge.
So I owe treatment more than 3 times.
Then he threatened me there more than 3 times.
So not a panic.
Then I became panicked.
So not transfer.
Then I decided to transfer.
Then not a pipeline comprehensive.
At the time I came to the pipeline comprehensive school.
So not after pipeline comprehensive, not after tamula kono then ibabula ne school close na open next academic years you come.
I arrived there just when the third term was about to begin. The information they gave me there was, then we are about to start the third term, we cannot admit you, but you have to go and wait until when the next academic year, at the beginning of the year, you come, then we will admit you.
Mr. Mane, I would just like to interrupt you again there just to follow up on some of the questions that I have for you. You mentioned one man Lafi Sanyang who was part of the security forces.
Akoye man Lafi Sanyang to for me ya lonko abe security forces ole kono wala sojarul wala policeul.
Malafi nying watolo bije nsaje paramilitary informal kono.
Malafi is somebody, sometimes I see him in paramilitary uniform.
Sometimes inside police uniform.
Sometimes I see him in police uniform.
Sometimes inside civil uniform.
Sometimes he will be in civilian clothes.
Sometimes yajamela program.
And I used to see him at meetings and programs organized by Yaya Jammeh.
Actually, security, but it's part of security, but security.
So this is what confused me. I know that he is among the security forces, but I don't know to which branch he belonged.
Yeah, because Gambia,
because in the Gambia here, the law allows that
security personnel
security personnel shouldn't be playing politics.
Sometimes
but Malafi is always playing politics. He was always playing politics. This confused me because I don't know to which branch of the security personnel he belonged to.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mane. Can we just move on? You mentioned that as a result of the harassment that you suffered in Nasir Senior Secondary School, you had to move on to Pipeline Senior Secondary School. Is that correct?
Ako yenyino foko saing biye batandiro menkela la okuma kangolu kabule no kang utumebe Nazir Senior Secondary School. Wole nata kendi ibotaje kana Pipeline Comprehensive School.
Yeah, not a Pipeline Comprehensive.
Yeah, that's what made me seek transfer to come to Pipeline Comprehensive School.
And Mr. Mane, we will have time to come back to that. But first of all, I think let's go back to our main focus, which is the 11th April demonstrations in 2000. Can you tell us what happened on that day?
Akombe murule na ufanankane nyatonto la karambungulu la saun Kenya. Akobari nyintembeng alafta nga nyatiling talibo law demonstration ola menketa sangokono 2000 sangokono.
Bismillah.
Yes. Akoy safo no nyemune keta.
Yeah, April 10 and 11.
April 10th and 11th.
Went at grade 9.
I was in grade 9 by then. We had this news that and I had this information from another quarter that one of that a student called Ibrahim Bari that he was manhandled by the fire service officers and they brutalized him, which resulted into his death. That's the reason that caused his death. But there was a students' union called GAMSU. Then they had that that they will have to organize some sort of a reconciliation with the government so that justice will take place about Ibrahim Bari's case.
So
and they even started the negotiation, but later on they said the government is not ready to compromise with them. And from that time on, the government was not serious about anything concerning Ibrahim Bari's case.
So
this is how things were going on, and the students were discussing among themselves. And within that period, my own sister was raped.
Munketa Binta Manet.
She's called Bintamane.
Inata boya kan Bakau stade moto.
She came with a delegation of athletes to the Bakau Stadium. That's where she was raped.
Kala dunia tinyabulo.
And they destroyed her youth.
Ina nata kendel fanana school la agenda te Birkama ba.
And it became an agenda for our school at Birkama ba.
Muyalo ko la school passion ntele yake ntelena ni kuya ndim fana la Osman bare Ibrahim Bari Katani Bintamane.
So the case of Ibrahim Bari and Bintamane, these two cases became our focus.
Please raise your voice, Mr. Mane.
Akoy si kango wulindi santo demanding.
And proceed, please.
Akoy tenteng ngolem nyinti si dia musanto.
Yo, okay, problem taja.
Okay. Tambi.
Bintamane la kuoto.
About Bintamane's case,
principal mu benna school ro.
The principal at our school at that time,
Bafada mo Merkan Mendi.
Nyadi?
Merkan Mendi.
He's called Merkan Mendi.
At American Mendi nying.
That American Mendi,
he failed his responsibility.
He failed his responsibility. Amala doko kanyama. Afo.
Ate mala do ko ka anyanta do ko kira nyaming.
He didn't do what was supposed to be done by him.
Bao Bintamane.
Because Bintamane,
ya abo inkan school la hajol kono.
She was attending business for the school. During that business for the school was the time she was raped.
Kabre inata muruna Birkama ba.
When they came back to Birkama ba,
principal I go in silence.
The principal was very silent about the matter.
La family Bintamane no la family.
Bintamane's family.
Principal mang kontan kunitan dila.
He didn't show anything to the family that will convince the family.
Bintala bo Birkamba because ya kumandi ya senkan kumandi nang Kombojang.
Then later on, Binta was called to come to Kombo here.
Purkana matani investigate.
So that the matter will be investigated.
What turning na kono?
In that going and coming,
ala family faunaka transport bondi, anala family faunakana.
And all those trips from Brikamaba to Kombo, Binta was paying her own. Binta's family were paying their transport fares to come and go.
So, but through the discussion on Karambunto,
but in the discussion at the school itself there, I was not there in person.
But
the person or the people who were there, I have a friend there called Sabali. It was Sabali who was giving me the information of things going on there because I don't have the time to inquire things about what was going on there.
Because at
that time, the moment we close from school, I just go home.
Mr. Mane, sorry to interrupt you again. I would just like to clarify some of the things that you said. You mentioned Binta Mane. What grade was she in and what was her age at the time?
Ako ye Binta Mane la kumo memfateng. Alafta kodo lusenendi la ala kodo. Ako utumo Binta Mane be grade jumale to aning awulu sango be sanji jelleto.
Utumo Binta Mane be grade 7.
Utumo Binta was attending grade 7. At that time Binta was attending grade 7.
So automation samuta maybe a better sanjitan kabonan kankata lulu kandal.
At that time, if I can recall properly, she will either be 14 years or 15 years old.
So otembo abolto.
As the time things happened.
You also mentioned, Mr. Mane, my apologies. You also mentioned your school, Birkama Senior Secondary School. What kind of school was it? Was it a private school or a government school?
Akoye wakarambu memfang la kumafonya Birkama ba. mansakunda la karambungolom banko ta fodung jemu afaye karambungoleti mole tamu jeti wala kafole tamu jeti.
Mansakunda la karambungo banko ta.
It was a government school.
I just wanted to note the fact that you blamed the principal of the school for what happened to, for not reacting properly to what happened to Binta. I just wanted to ask, considering the fact that it was a government school and the principal was a government employee, why did you blame the principal for what happened?
Ako ni ajaye je mamandi wairi karambungu mansakunda karambungulti adum principalo nying yemen tofo atefanam mansakunda le yata adu kuala bitun sila yekumo memfota munta tumiro lata karambundu sut nyato nying ko nyin nekang principalo nying so ako wala na alafta lo na be nyinin karo kala me ya kendi ya tumi.
Then mbeo kono je
hani ako me ya kendi karamundo moro nyin tumi ya dalilo nyin akawole nyinin ka karamundo moro nyin principalo nyin membe karamundo je ha yalo ko amala do ko ka nyama ha ko akawole nyinin ka
yeah because muna na fota do ko la wara mala do ko ka nyama.
The reason I said that he didn't do his job properly
because amanna Binta take care because Binta na finta school kono wato.
The principal didn't do anything to help Binta because at that time, if Binta goes to school, how people look at her and fellow students at the school there, according to witnesses, when Binta herself is standing, people discuss her up to the point of pointing her, and she herself sees those people discussing and pointing at her.
So, principal
if the principal had done things properly,
Binta
shouldn't be in the school like that, people pointing and discussing about her. So Binta became so ashamed that she had to leave that school.
But as a responsible person, as a principal,
the head of the school being the principal and a responsible person,
chance in education.
I think he should have encouraged Binta and try to do other measures which will help Binta to overcome the shame that made her leave the school.
Because
at that time, grade 7,
Binta ila class exam
in their class, when examinations come, if Binta didn't take force, she will be she will take the second position. Then for somebody like that just to come and leave the school like that, the principal didn't do anything to encourage her to continue her schooling.
Then he failed.
Thank you, Mr. Mane. Yes, we note that point. You've already mentioned it. And as a result of these two incidents with Ibrahim Barry and Binta Mane, what happened next at Birkamaba?
Akobitong Binta Mane ni Ibrahim Barry la kuwa lata tenyaming. Mwoya sabu mune nata ke Birkamaba kara mutu je.
Yeah. That's
what caused the reason for the demonstration at the Birkamaba school.
Student April 11th.
Which took place there on the 11th of April.
Then Kombol for a moment on the 10th.
When the demonstrations took place in the Combo here on the 10th, we had it on the radio.
Telephone call.
We had it also, people made telephone calls. But there was already there were people at the school there, students. At that time, those students were discussing with the main student body called GAMSU, but I was not aware of that.
Student demonstration with a peace.
So that we also will organize a peaceful demonstration. But I was not also part of the discussion. It was Sabali who was reporting matters to me. This is how the trouble started.
Please tell us who Sabali was. What is his first name and who was he?
Akoyo ya fonyen jumalom sabaliti atofolo mumuneti katu sabali mu kontongoleti.
Sabali ka fole Usman Sabali.
His full name is Usman Sabali.
Usman Sabali nyimfonye ko.
It was Usman Sabali who told me that.
Akonye Malik Jallo.
He said Malik Jallo.
Malik Jallo na assistant head boy.
That Malik Jallo was the assistant head boy at the school at that time.
At the same time, Atelong Gamsula regional coordinator.
That same Malik Jallo was the Gamsu regional coordinator
in CRR. Head boy Buffalo le Hamidi Sow.
The head boy was Hamadi Sow.
Then you never negotiation in warrant discussion about in Gamsu.
These people were the people discussing with the main student body called Gamsu.
But Tenelu.
Then on a Monday,
Combo Mamanta.
The day that the demonstrations took place in Kombo here, we went to school.
The principal no school.
Then the principal told us that this day there will be no school.
So inside that wrong.
We went home. I went to take care of our cattle. My father has cattle. When I close from school, I don't waste time at home. I had to go and herd the cattle. I have to go and take care of the cattle in the bush. During the daytime, then in the daytime, Usman came to our home. He found my father there and asked my father, I'm looking for Njai Mane. My father told him that Njai has gone with the cattle into the bush. Then my father gave him the direction usually where we take the cattle into the bush, and he found me in the bush. When he came to me in the bush, after we greeted each other, he told me that I attached somebody to the principal. That's the person who gave me the information now that, right now that. And he was standing there when the principal called some soldiers from Kudang camp and informed him that this Monday, today, some soldiers will come to the school. During that discussion, he told me, the person who raped Bintamane, do you know him? I said, no, I don't know him. He told me, the person is here. I said, well, that's puzzling because the rape took place in Kombo. He laughed. And that's the time he told me that the police officer who raped Bintamane is at the Brikambamba police station right now. I said to him, how can that be possible? He said the policeman decided to follow Binta up to Kombo. And he told me that this policeman was following Binta, trying to get Binta from a long time in Brikambamba here, but Binta has been refusing him. So when he heard that the school is going for the athletics competition in Bakau, and he heard that Binta is also part of the delegation going to take part in that athletics, this is why the man had quickly organized his own trip to go to Kombo, and he is the very man who decided to go and rape Binta. Then that's the time I told Sabali, but this information is really doubtful. I asked him, do you know the person? Who is this person? Then that's the time he told me that I will give you the name after the student demonstration.
But this moment,
He said, but at this present moment, I cannot tell you. I begged him, I pleaded with him, I appealed to him, but he refused. I said, okay, no problem.
So then, then
that's the time when he decided to go home. He said he wanted to go to Brikama, but I'll cancel that trip. I will go home back to Kerawan.
Because
The person I attached to the principal to study his movements, that's the person who told me that the principal called soldiers from the Kudang camp in my presence. So before the soldiers will come here and find me here, I want to leave this vicinity.
Mr. Mane, I would just like to follow up on that. You mentioned that the principal knew about the demonstrations and hence called the soldiers from Kundang. Did Usman Sabali tell you how the principal knew about the students' demonstrations?
Ako nyum foko Usman Sabali ko principal o nyum bota demonstration o nyim kalamale ando atele sojarolu ko kumandi kabonang Kudang. So ako saying wo ko keta nyadi le pour hanfo principal nying ay demonstration o kunya mo nyadi le.
Yeah, because kabirin kombo yake.
Because when the demonstrations took place here in Kombo, I believe that the people who were at the school there, people like Sabali himself, plus Malik Jallo, and Hamadi Sow, plus other students there, who were discussing with Gamsu. They were in link with Gamsu, this main student body.
Possible information of the principal of these people if an plan can.
Possibly among those people was somebody who informed the principal that these students here in the school are also going to organize a demonstration here.
I suspect I
don't know how he knew that or suspected that. Maybe that's the way he got the information.
Then
Sabali went home.
So in the
evening, when I brought back the cattle to the cattle herd, when I was tying up the cattle at their place, that's the time when my father arrived at the cattle herd's location. He asked me, the young man who came here to inquire about you, do you know him? I said, yes, I know him. He told me, do you know him? Where is he from? Then I told my father that I know him. We are attending the same school. He's from Kerawan, and he is my friend. Then my father told me,
40 days.
40 days. He will not leave for 40 days. I asked my father, why did you say that? Well, what I can recognize about his demeanor, his appearance, I read something in his appearance which told me that he's somebody who is going to be short-lived. Then I told my father that that's something wonderful. How did you know that? He laughed and looked at me, and then he left. He did it without telling me anything else.
So around 8 to 8:30.
Then around 8 to 8:30, a teacher called me, one Mr. Njai. He asked me, where are you? I said, I am at home. He told me, don't sleep in your home tonight. I asked him, what is happening? He told me, soldiers arrived here immediately and they are at the school. And they have been given authority to arrest students.
Mr. Mane, I will have to interrupt you again. At this point, when you received this phone call from Mr. Njai, was a student demonstration taking place at that time?
Ako birinyi Mr. Njai be kumandila telefono to fo tembo talibo law demonstration abe kekan ne bang.
No, abe nkola wato muna. Fitrolon 8 to 8:30.
He said that Mr. Njai called him around 8 to 8:30 in the evening. That happened on that Monday, the day the demonstrations took place in Kombu here.
Was that the 10th of April, 2000?
April karo tili taunti bang 2000. Yes, that was the 10th of April on that Monday.
8 to 8:30.
And it was in the evening of that 10th day of April from 8 towards 8:30 in the evening. When he gave me this information, I went to my dad's house. I asked him to give me my key. Me also, I went to prepare myself in my house spiritually. Then I did what I'm supposed to do. I went to spend the night at Brikamaba. On the following day, 7 o'clock in the morning, we went to the school. When I arrived at the school, we cannot go into the school compound. By that time, the soldiers had already surrounded the school. Some were standing at the main gate of the school. They were having rifles with them. Some went into the school and climbed up the trees inside the school compound. Some were even standing on top of the school fence behind the school. And behind the fence, on the ground, some soldiers were standing there also. And they went to the principal's quarters and secured that place also.
Mr. Manet, can I just interrupt again? This was on the 11th day of April 2000, is that correct? But in essence, you have already mentioned that the soldiers were at the school on the 10th day of April when the student demonstrations happened in the Combos. Is that also correct?
Akofo akete banko tene lungulem sojarolu nata je kara mugunyin to je bang fotalato ko yafunu nyaming.
Ya sojarolu nata je wo fonko lo tene lung. Then
the soldiers came there on Monday at night, the evening that Sabali gave me the information. And that was the time when Mr. Njai later called me and told me that the soldiers had already arrived.
Then the
people I found at the gate, there was somebody who was leading them. There were some people standing behind him.
So
I asked them, what is happening here?
We are called by your principal.
Then that's the time that man replied me and told me that your principal called us to come here. We are just here to maintain peace and stability here. Then I told him, well, you came here to maintain peace and stability. You are here with guns. You've occupied every place. Soldiers climbing up the trees, standing on the fence. What's happening?
Yeah. So another for
Then that's the time he told me, you cannot go into the school like that.
Mr. Mane, can you please look at me when you're answering questions rather than communicating with the interpreter?
Ako alaftale nibe jabirola hanime kungo yelamandi inyalo itulukang aytemembe tenyinin kakang alaftale alinyada lukar nyoje nibe jabiro kela wole be atefana makoela.
We are having a conversation, me and you, not you and the interpreter.
Itening kanasurla lumantara diamukang inatele be diamukang inyante nyatili na telela.
I'm sorry, I cannot speak Mandinka. But nonetheless, we are having a conversation. Please proceed.
No problem.
So,
that's how things happened.
Ilaw nyaton ko umbelo rumbundala.
Their leader, who was standing at the gate there,
Nata baba nendro jabala fo.
he insulted a very nasty insult there.
Utung alo baba nendro kono.
When he insulted,
Sabal fanan kamfata.
Sabali also became angry.
Sabal nata fo mole ko anya move.
Sabali told us, then let's leave this vicinity.
But wata
But already,
student o dole nying fan ko le daten.
some students made these white cloths.
Safero kabala.
They wrote some things on those white cloths.
Yene safeje ko.
What was written on those cloths?
We need justice for Ibrahim Barry.
What was written on those cloths was that we need justice for Ibrahim Bari and Binta Mane.
Before you move on, Mr. Mane, are you referring to Usman Sabali?
Ako janiyetente be Usman Sabali lemabang.
Hambe Usman Sabali.
Yes, it's Usman Sabali.
You also mentioned that on the 10th day of April, some students were going to be arrested. Did that happen?
Ako nyum foko April karo til tanem alinyin kibaro mo ko be sojaro dolu mutala fo ketale bang.
Yeah, to jalong because no Ben Vlad Janimbe Mufla.
At that meeting place, before we leave that meeting place,
Manna head boy DJ.
I didn't see the head boy there.
Manna assistant head boy DJ.
I didn't see the assistant head boy there. But how I was at the school there, if I have nothing to do with you, I always keep away from you. And I'm somebody who likes to keep to myself. But before Sabali left, he told me, he told me some students were arrested at night.
It's more than 50 students.
And he told me that more than 50 students were arrested last night. But when I was standing at the school gate there and I looked around in the crowd,
the
people I thought about were the head boy and his assistant. Then when I looked in the crowd, I didn't see these two people. Then that's why I believe that, well, it's true they might have been arrested. Then Usman, that's the time he later told me that they've arrested a lot of students.
From there, not a That's
the time when I had this conversation with this soldier. And that's the time when he made that nasty insult. Sabali became angry. Sabali told us to leave this vicinity. Let's leave here for our peaceful demonstration. But at that time, there were some students.
We need justice for Ibrahim Bara and Binta Mane.
They've already prepared some banners with white cloths, and the writing on those banners were that we need justice for Ibrahim Bari and Binta Mane.
Mr. Mane, before we proceed, you mentioned that the organizers of the demonstrations were arrested, or you suspected that they were arrested. Is that correct?
Ako janing albetente na yinyum foko. Nying demonstration o menu ba akwo kurukuru kang ye wolle muta fodung sobita menu la ye wolle muta wonya ko to nyalo muti bang
ye dolu muta je wolda man tarje.
Yes, some people were arrested, and even some of those arrested were not even part of the demonstration.
Can you tell us why you were not arrested, since you were also part of those who were
akoy safono nyeba muna na imete mutaji hanufo ete fangona ta
planning the demonstrations?
Andu ye nyimuta ko ete fanan dabe demonstration o nyimkunole bari manne mutaji.
Yeah, because discussion ko yala nyafulente da mantraje bar butu inata ye mutala.
Yes, in the discussion I'm not part of those who were discussing with the Gamsu students, but later on they arrested me.
I am referring to before the demonstrations happened. You mentioned that certain students were arrested. So my question is, why were you not arrested at that stage?
Because because la secret location of Lanjang, it muta no lafanao.
The reason why I was not arrested is because of two reasons. First of all, I went to sleep at a different place from my normal place, and secondly, I also made some preparations for not to be arrested.
What were those preparations?
Ako munanay ko ite mutanola fanang.
Because mbelarin na ki albaki.
Because I did some spiritual things.
Because nyakunda dol munta sembo baki.
Because the jujus I took were very powerful.
So lata jina ko ite mutano lata 100%.
Then I believe 100% that night they will not be able to arrest me.
Because mfama yolo fanyako.
That's what my father told me. He said, if you are arrested, then the world will end today. But if the world will not end today, they will not arrest you today.
And on that very powerful note, can we take a break? Thank you, Mr. Witness. Hand over to you, Mr. Commissioner. Man, I apologize, sorry. I'm being affected by this very powerful testimony.
Thank you very much indeed, Counsel. Those are very powerful jujus or medicines that you have in that part of CRR. Anyway, we'll take a 30-minute break, come back at 12 noon. Thank you.